Lithium just jumped 164% in 8 months. And that number alone is why every video on this platform is suddenly screaming about 2 words, sodium ion and aluminum ion, like they are the second coming.
I have been waiting on a $25,000 Tesla about as long as I have been waiting on my tax refund. So I actually went and dug through the supply deals, the lab papers, and the factory announcements behind both of those words, instead of just repeating what some thumbnail told me.
Here is what I can tell you after doing that homework. One of these 2 batteries is already rolling around on real streets built by real suppliers, some of whom already work with Tesla today. The other one is mostly living inside lab reports and YouTube comment sections dressed up to look like a done deal. Give me 10 minutes and I will show you exactly which is which, with the receipts, not the hype. Why is this suddenly urgent? Start with the number that kicked this whole thing off. Battery-grade lithium carbonate is up 164% in 8 months. Back in the middle of 2025, it was sitting around $8 a kilogram. By the end of February this year, it was pushing past $20. That is not a rounding error. That is coming straight out of your future car payment. 2 things collided to cause it. Zimbabwe put a sudden ban on lithium exports back in February. And around the same time, CATL had its own mine, Jianshiao, taken offline in China for a long stretch. 2 big pieces of global supply vanished within weeks of each other, and prices reacted the way they always do when that happens. Now, why should you care about a mining dispute on the other side of the planet? Because lithium runs somewhere between 20 and 25% of what it costs to build an EV battery pack. Push that number up and either the car gets pricier or the automaker swallows it and complains about margins on the next earnings call. You lose either way. And it is not done climbing either. Goldman Sachs has been putting out numbers suggesting prices could keep pushing towards something like $27,800 a ton by the 4th quarter of this year. I do not put much stock in any single bank's crystal ball. I have been burned by those before. But when 2 mine disruptions hit back to back and the big banks start revising their forecasts upward instead of down, that tells you something about which direction the wind is blowing. I know the joke going around online that Elon just does not feel like building the cheap car. I used to laugh at that one myself, mostly because it is an easy joke. It does not require you to know anything about mining or metal futures or export policy on the other side of the world. Turns out the real story is less exciting and a lot more annoying.
Nobody is being stubborn here. The metals market just decided to be difficult again. Kind of like egg prices a couple years back, when suddenly a dozen eggs cost what a whole breakfast used to. Nobody planned it, everybody is paying for it, and blaming one guy in California makes for a better headline than blaming a mine shutdown you have never heard of. So what is actually happening about it? Not in some concept video, in real factories with real budgets behind them. Is sodium ion already winning this race? Short answer, yes, and not in some future quarter, right now. CATL, the outfit that supplies Tesla, is pushing its sodium ion line, Naxtra, toward gigawatt-hour production by the end of this year. Energy density is around 175 watt-hours per kilogram, right in line with LFP, which is already in millions of EVs on the road today. And this chemistry is not stuck on a slide deck somewhere. It is already sitting in a production car, the Chang'an Nevo A06, out on the road in China while we are still arguing about it in comment sections over here. What gets me is how quiet CATL has been about all this compared to how loud they usually are. Their own chief technology officer basically said LFP is bumping up against its ceiling and that the real fight from here is over fast charging and sodium ion for the extreme jobs, cold climates, grid storage, the kind of use cases that punish a battery the hardest. When the company that already dominates the battery world starts talking that way about its own bread and butter product, I tend to listen. BYD is not standing on the sidelines either. They are putting up a 30 gigawatt-hour sodium-ion plant in Suzhou.
And even with the whole industry drooling over solid state for 2027, BYD came out on July 31st and said companies should keep funding both liquid lithium-ion and sodium-ion instead of dropping everything to chase the next shiny thing. That is a company backing its words with actual construction, not a press release full of buzzwords. Here is the part that ought to grab your attention if you own a Tesla, or just follow the company closely. LG, the same supplier building 2,170 cells for Model Y and Model 3 here in the States, is piloting a sodium-ion line inside the very Nanjing plant that already makes cells for Tesla. That did not come out of some corner of Reddit. That is Tesla's own supplier quietly leaning into sodium-ion right alongside CATL. And on August 3rd, a peer-reviewed study landed on a commercial sodium battery from a company called Hyna. It matched Tesla's own lithium-ion numbers for both performance and build quality. Not a marketing slide, a peer-reviewed paper. That is about as close as this industry gets to a referee actually blowing the whistle. So while you were busy with everything else this week, sodium-ion quietly built itself a supply chain, factory floors, and a result that stands right next to Tesla's own numbers. That deserves more attention than it is getting, if you ask me. What about aluminum-ion? Now I get suspicious. Let me be fair before I get grumpy. There is real science happening with aluminum-ion. GMG and Green Science Alliance have both put out legitimate lab results, charging in 6 minutes, cells holding on to 99% of their capacity after 10,000 cycles. Those numbers are genuinely impressive, and I am not calling the scientists liars. But every one of those results lives inside 4 walls of a lab, and none of it has a production date attached to any car company you have ever heard of. Tesla, for the record, has never officially announced any aluminum-ion chemistry for production. Not in a shareholder letter, not on an earnings call, nowhere with an actual Tesla logo attached.
So when some video screams that Elon just revealed a $1,795 aluminum-ion battery, congratulations, you just watched a knee pain supplement ad with an EV costume on.
Same format every time, some guy standing at a whiteboard pointing at a number nobody can check. I have seen enough of those to spot them from across the room by now, and you probably have too if you think about it for a second.
I even found one of these channels claiming the pack would last 25 years and charge in 10 minutes flat, quoting Elon like he personally called them up on the phone.
There is no shareholder letter behind that, no filing, no factory groundbreaking, nothing. Just a guy talking fast enough that you do not have time to ask where the number came from. And that is the trick every time. They bury you in specifics that sound official, so you stop asking whether the whole premise is even real. I am too old to get worked up over a headline written in all capital letters. If a claim cannot survive one follow-up question, it does not deserve to live in your head rent-free. My late father used to say the same thing about door-to-door salesmen, and near as I can tell, the internet just replaced the doorbell. So sit with this for a second. Sodium-ion already has real cars driving on real streets. Aluminum-ion is still sitting in a lab building. So why is the internet shouting louder about the one that is not even out the door yet? Before I give you my answer, type one word in the comments before I tell you where I land. Sodium. If you think it is already winning this race today. Aluminum if you think the rumor mill is onto something I am missing. I read the comments, and every once in a while, somebody actually changes my mind. Not often, mind you, but it happens. So, which one actually reaches a cheap Tesla first? My answer, sodium-ion, and it is not close. It has a supply chain, factories, and partners building at scale, and aluminum-ion has a promise sitting on paper. Paper never lowered anybody's car payment. And there is a part of this I actually find encouraging. The road to a cheap Tesla might not run through Tesla at all.
CATL, BYD, and LG are dragging prices down whether Tesla asks them to or not, and Tesla just has to keep pace. Sort of like me trying to keep up every time my kid updates their phone and expects me to follow along in real time.
Think about what that actually means for a second. Tesla does not need to invent a miracle chemistry in some secret lab in Nevada to hit an affordable price point. The company just needs to keep buying cells from suppliers who are already racing each other to the bottom on cost. That is a much easier bet to win than waiting on a breakthrough that has not even left the lab yet. And it is the kind of quiet, unglamorous progress that never makes it into a flashy thumbnail. If you are 50 or older and thinking about your first EV, that is the actual good news buried under all this noise. You're not waiting on some miracle battery to show up out of nowhere. You're waiting on a supply chain that is already leaning this direction, and from everything I just walked you through, that is closer than the clickbait crowd wants you to believe. You do not need to hold out for a headline, you just need to keep half an eye on what CATL and BYD ship in volume, because that is the number that actually shows up in a sticker price someday. I cannot do a thing about metal prices, and neither can you.
Zimbabwe is not calling me for advice, and I doubt they are calling you either.
But at least now you know who is telling you the truth and who is selling you a knee pain supplement with a Tesla badge stuck on the front, and that is worth more than most of what passes for battery news these days.
If this channel has ever helped you tell the real story from the noise, that matters to me, and it puts us that much closer to the 35,111 subscriber milestone together. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.